Mike, very much. And we now come on to our third sheep farmer, James Drummond, who is a sheep and beef farmer from Northumberland. He's a former Eblex monitor farm and Immovis breeding partner, and also currently undertaking a Morden Foundation scholarship examining on-farm methods to reduce anthelmintic use in sheep production. James Drummond.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Nuffield scholars, firstly, I'd like to thank Nuffield for this tremendous opportunity, and equally my sponsors, they're here somewhere, Alan and Anne Beckett, for their amazing generosity, allowing this truly life-changing experience to so many over the decades. Thank you. Personally, I believe productive agricultural practice is essential if we are to meet the demands of a growing population. This, coupled with the global growth of the middle class and an increase in demand for red meat, will mean the future of livestock production will need to be more efficient. This must come from increasing productivity, targeted inputs to reduce our reliance on a finite quantity of resources, and through adopting new practice to improve the health of our soils and that of the environment we farm. I think this slide sums up the reason I chose to undertake my scholarship. Sheep production for the average UK farmer means running an unprofitable enterprise with economic margins insufficient to sustain the business without the support of the Common Agricultural Policy. We sell a commodity into a global market with output and income influenced by many factors, yet there are huge opportunities to increase profitability through improving physical performance and reducing production costs. My research was based around examining methods to increase production per hectare whilst reducing costs per kilogram produced. Examining ewe efficiency and improved pasture utilisation to increase stocking capacity and output will enable an increase in productivity to be met. Research focused on increasing output from a pasture-based system and to look at achieving the greatest achievable profit per hectare. Research from our scholarship totaled more than 5 months and was based in Australia, New Zealand, France, Ireland, and the UK. So, optimising new performance for a productive sheep enterprise and a high-quality finished lamb. Sheep production essentially comes down to 3 key components: genetics, nutrition, and management. Genetics are the driver of efficient production performance in any livestock system. Ensuring the correct genetics are in place will determine the ability for a sheep enterprise to achieve the desired output and obtain an easily managed, profitable business. With such huge variation, both between breed as well as within breed, selecting the right stock for important commercial and economic traits will determine the ability for a flock to maximise its potential returns. Ewe efficiency, survival, growth rate, and carcass quality are determined by the genetics in place to increase productivity and ensure the ability to perform on pasture. Whilst breed values undoubtedly give greater insight into the potential genetic performance of an animal, greater consideration must be given to the environment in which the stock has been reared. This picture was taken at Nuffield Genetics in New Zealand, run by Andrew and Heather Tripp. In 2014, the decision was made to move the entire Romney stud flock up into the hills and leave them unshepherded during lambing. Parentage was determined through using DNA sampling. This enabled the genetics to be evaluated in an environment more suited to that of a commercial farm. This ensured the stud is producing stock that can not only perform well, but has been bred to do so in the environment that commercial sheep production takes place, and will better reflect the farming systems of their clients. Meeting nutritional requirement is essential if genetic potential is to be fully exploited. Failing to meet requirements will reduce potential output through neglecting to capitalise on the full genetic capability of the ewe and her progeny. Livestock production, simply put, is a case of nature versus nurture. Nature, the genetics in place, and nurture, the correct management of the animal to ensure that health and nutritional requirements are met. Objective breeding, both on-farm and from any breeder income and genetics are sourced, with data collected in an environment similar to that the stock is run, ensures a cumulative increase in genetic ability over time. Regardless of the farmer's system in place, improving ewe efficiency will in turn improve the profitability of the sheep enterprise. Targeted improved ewe efficiency will increase output per ewe and kilograms of lamb produced from the flock, and can be improved by targeting these three key areas. Although terminal sire influence has a part to play in improving ewe efficiency through lamb ease, vigour, survival and daily live weight gain of the lamb, the maternal genetics of the flock have a greater part to play through improving the prolificacy, fertility and mothering ability of the dam. Concentrating flock replacements and maternal rams on desirable traits to increase rearing percentage whilst maintaining the required mature weight of the ewe will increase the productivity of the system, not only through improving ewe efficiency, but allows an increase in stocking density, resulting in a higher output per hectare. Improvements in efficiency will not only increase production, but will benefit the environment through reducing carbon footprint per kilogram of meat produced. Taking a whole flock approach, key performance indicators are an essential tool to benchmark flock performance and to identify areas within a sheep system that can deliver a good return on investment. Undoubtedly, incorporating EID recording of lambs at birth will lead to the most accurate and easily accessible use of performance indicators. This will enable ewe efficiency, growth rate, production costs, and carcass information to be fed back to individual animal performance and provide valuable data to assist the removal of underperforming individuals. It will also help in the selection of breeding females retained to enter the flock. Ensuring the ewe's body condition score is meeting required levels at key points of the production year will result in increased efficiency and greater production from the kilograms of dry matter available from pasture. Ewes failing to meet targeted body condition score at these key times will decrease production and ultimately reduce the profitability of the system. On the other hand, ewes exceeding the required body condition score will be costing the system through utilising dry matter that can otherwise be used to increase the productivity of priority stock, be reserved for extending the grazing season, hence reducing production costs, or would enable an increase in stocking density. As with any livestock enterprise, regardless of the target market for the progeny, the ability to produce live offspring is essential to ensure return for that animal. Setting KPIs for targeted survival percentage at different points of the production year will identify areas within the system for improvement. Lamb vigour and survival have a very strong correlation. The longer it takes a lamb to suckle for the first time, the lower its chance of survival. Improving the genetics incorporated within a flock can have a great increase in productivity. Genetics will not only help the lamb's chance of survival, but also the mother's maternal behaviour and instinct. In 2006 to 2011, twin farm genetics run by the Welsh family in New Zealand was part of a lamb survival trial in which all lambs that died within 72 hours of birth were autopsied to confirm cause of death. The trial showed the extent that difficulties in the lambing process have on losses during this period. Whilst losses due to visible dystocia may be apparent, it was found a far greater number of deaths within the 72 hours examined were a result of the lambing process itself. Damaged organs, ruptures, and other internal injuries are the cause of a high percentage of losses during this period. Objective breeding for economically important production traits was key to the breeding programme, as well as developing lamines. Recording and selection for lamb vigour, teat placement and maternal behaviour score were seen as vital to progress the productivity of the breed through reducing losses and management requirements. A ewe's maternal behaviour score is a measurement of the maternal instinct and behaviour of the ewe regarding her newborn progeny. A ewe with a greater maternal behaviour score will be a more attentive mother, and this increase in mothering ability results in a greater survival rate in her progeny, and ultimately a more productive ewe base. Julie Everett-Hinks commented that her research showed a ewe that stays within 5 metres of her lamb after birth wins 10 kilograms heavier total live weight. This is through both an increase in lamb weight at weaning and a greater rearing percentage. Added to this, the poor performance across all birth ranks regarding survival for any ewe maternal behaviour score 1, as can be seen in the first column of this graph, showing the removal of these underperforming ewes will greatly increase the efficiency of the flock. Sheep producers must focus on improving economic efficiency. Increases in ewe efficiency through incorporating improved genetics and the selection of superior placements based on objective performance data will enhance the productivity of a flock, and improvements will be cumulative and permanent. Increasing ewe efficiency to improve production per ewe must be focused on ultimately increasing output per hectare, whilst concentrated on obtaining the maximum profit achievable per kilogram produced. Whilst ewe efficiency has a role to play, increasing flock size to improve stock and density and output per labour unit, along with targeted input costs, will maximise efficiency and improve a business's profit margin. With improved grass production and utilisation to enhance usable yield, an increase in stock and density can be achieved. With pasture and forage mixes used to extend grazing potential, reduce the cost per kilogram produced. The cheapest system to run is not the most profitable, maybe per ewe, but certainly not per hectare, and increasing stock and density, although potentially increasing cost of production, will be offset by higher output, achieving a greater achievable profit per hectare. I'd like to finish by once again thanking Nuffield for this opportunity, and equally my sponsors, Alan and Anne. Thank you very much.